Hi all, welcome to Tuition.com again. I want to go through the process of how to add reverb to your tracks in Pro Tools. And the reason I'm showing you this is that a lot of people, when they're starting out with Pro Tools, tend to do this the wrong way. So let's have a look at that, and I'll show you what I think is the correct way to do it. So I've 4 drum tracks here just as an example, and I want to add reverb to these tracks. So what I might do is I could go up to the insert slot here, and I could go down to plug in and choose a reverb. So I pop a reverb in there, and I can either go to each individual slot and pop in a reverb like this again, reverb again. Okay, or I could just copy them across by holding Option and dragging it across. Okay, so that works fine. I've got reverb on all my drum tracks now, but it's not a very efficient way to do things because you've got 4 reverb plugins running just to get reverb on all your drum tracks. So essentially you're running 4 times the amount of CPU you need to. There are other disadvantages to this as well, in that each plugin now has to be treated separately. So essentially, if I want to change anything on the reverb settings, I'd have to do it on each individual track. So that would be a bit of a mess. Also, you'll notice the dry and wet down the bottom here. I'd have to set the balance between the dry and the wet on the plugins and individually as well. So, it's really a long-winded, laborious way to do it and not very efficient. So let's have a look at a much better way of doing it. So I'll just get rid of these plugins here for the moment. So I'm just going to option click on the first slot here and go no insert. Okay. Now, what I need to do is use an auxiliary send and return scenario. So basically what that means is I use an auxiliary send to send some of the dry signal to the reverb, and I use the auxiliary return to bring that reverb back into the mix and balance it with the dry. So what I'll do first of all is I will create an auxiliary send. So I'm just going to select my tracks. So I click on the first one, shift click on the last one, that selects them all. And now I'm going to actually do something here called do to selected. I mentioned this in another video, but it's a quick way of doing the same thing to selected tracks. So I'm going to go to send, and I'm going to go shift option, and I'm going to select a bus. So I'll go bus 1. Okay, now I've got a bus on each of the tracks, bus 1, and this is essentially my send level going to my reverb. Now I'll create an auxiliary return. So I'm going to go shift command and N. I'm going to select auxiliary return. I'll leave it mono for the moment and create that. Okay, there's my aux return here. I'll name that reverb, or everb. We'll just call it verb actually. Okay, verb. Okay, now what I need to do on this channel is I use bus 1 as the input. So whatever's going out on bus 1 is coming in here on bus 1 as well. The only thing I'm missing here at the moment now is my reverb plugin itself. So I go up to my inserts, go to plugin, go to reverb. Now I'm going to choose a mono in stereo out reverb, and I tend to do that because most of the time we just need a mono auxiliary send going in, but we still get a stereo reverb coming out from the plugin, so it works fine. Now another thing I'm going to do here is make sure that that reverb is 100%, because this channel will be all reverb and no dry signal. Okay, so now basically I should be able to play my drums back and add some reverb in. So I'll add some to the bass drum a little bit here. There it is. And a little bit to the snare as well. Okay, now I know the reverbs aren't, set correctly. It's the wrong decay time, etc. But it gives you an idea about how it works. So essentially I can add reverb to as many of these tracks as I want, and basically just use one reverb plugin. Okay, so that's a much more efficient way of doing it. Now I'm going to show you an even better way of doing this. Okay, so now I'm just going to get rid of my reverb channel here. So I'm just going to click on that and go down here, and I'm going to delete it. So bye bye reverb. And I'm going to do the same with these buses here, get rid of them as well. So I'll just get rid of all of these guys. So I should have done this actually. Shift there, shift there. Now do to all selected. No send. Okay. Now this time, instead of going through all of that, which worked fine, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on descend. Go do to all selected again. Click on descend and go new track. Okay, so this time I'm going to choose an auxiliary input. It opens this dialog box. I choose auxiliary input. I'll name this verb. Okay, I'm going to leave it mono. Okay, so click create. And okay, so this guy's just gone to the wrong place for a moment. Just a second, I'll move him across. Okay, so now what I have, by using that method, I've created my auxiliary return. It's called verb. I've created a bus called verb as well, which is handy. So I've got everything done all in one foul swoop, let's call it, except adding my plugin in here. So I just go to my plugins, go to reverb. I'll choose a mono stereo again, and bang, there we go. So now I'm right back where I was before. I've got my dry and my wet signal here, my original signal and my reverb signal, and just play it back again. And now I can add some reverb back in again using my sends. Okay, achieved exactly the same result. Okay, so that's basically the best way to do it, folks. That's it. We'll just turn this down a bit and say goodbye to you all, and I'll see you again soon for some more tips.